thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome back. You're watching the thrift store rundown, bringing Hollywood to the classroom on a budget. As all this week, we're getting you out of your back-to-school days and getting you psyched over the upcoming back-to-school season ahead. You know, for many kids, just because they're on summer vacation doesn't mean the learning stops once their parents enroll them in a summer camp. And while I'm not knocking all summer camps in America, you don't want your summer camp experience to be anything like mine. My summer camp experience here in Patterson, without naming names beyond that, was horrible. It was basically a daycare ran by drill sergeants. And yeah, we did do a few field trips like going to the park and going to the Costello pool, but for the most part, the teachers and aides there were terrible. Save for one guidance counselor who I kinda liked because she was the nicest of them all, and I endeared myself to her the most. She would often let us skip out of trouble. But, by and large, songs will never be sung out of that summer camp experience, which really is nothing compared to Flappy Bob's Learnatorium, which, if you've ever seen this, was pretty much the super jail of summer camps, owned and operated by the former clown known as Flappy Bob, adopted under false pretenses, or should I say, theft, by the rich but boring rivals of the fairy world fairies. The Pixies! HP, Head Pixie, and Sanderson. They brought him up to learn that dull, gray, and boring as heck were the right ways to run an educational environment for children. And that's just simply not the case. So it's up to Timmy Turner and all of his Dimmsdale friends, and of course his fairy godparents, Cosmo and Wanda, to bring Flappy Bob back to his cloudy, fun heritage. And cut a rug while doing so. All of this forms the basis for, in my judgment, the greatest animated school musical of all time! And quite possibly, the greatest school musical on television, bar none. Animal School Musical from My Jim Potter's Monkey on Cartoon Network takes second place. It was good, but nothing compared to this. And I've more than had my fill of High School Musical on Disney Channel, although we still have High School Musical, the series to do. Ick. But no, this is it! School's Out the Musical from the Fairly OddParents on Nickelodeon, the only musical they ever done, now on DVD. That's right, a rockin' Fairly OddParents musical special with 11 numbers, co-starring 2 bonus episodes, all picked up on DVD for 25% off $3.29 from Value Village in Hawthorne, distributed by Paramount Pictures, closed captioned, with a running time of 83 minutes. Counting the 2 extra episodes here, the Big Superhero List, which is a double late episode featuring Jay Leno as the Crimson Chin, and Most Wanted List, which is a standard vignette, which happens to be one of my favorites. Anyway, we talked about School's Out the Musical before in a special Nick magazine focusing on the Fairly OddParents exclusively. It was called Busted Out, and it had many connections to School's Out the Musical, and even took you behind the scenes, rather loosely. I'll link that downstairs, as well as the entire special downstairs, because this is worth viewing at least once on your next summer vacation. Which hopefully is not at the summer camp in Patterson that I won't name, but, it's somewhere near the Salvation Army family store. That's all I'll say on that. Summer is supposed to be the best 8 weeks of the year, but not when your parents send you to Flappy Bob's Camp Learnatorium. Find out what happens when Timmy visits kids called all the Sots in this rockin' musical journey, which beyond the Big Superhero List and Most Wanted List also contains 2 original Oh Yes shorts featuring the original pilot and Where's the Wand, plus a special appearance on MTV's TRL featuring host Critters. As I said, there are 11 songs, and really, the songs do a magnificent job of speeding the story along and carrying the day, while the dialogue-laden scenes elongate the story further. So really, the songs speed it all up and carry the main plot forward with the speed of a freight train. but not once do they threaten to derail, because all of the songs in here are betas. 11 of them. My favorite being the opening one, which is reprised at the end. Kids Just Being Kids. It's a rock piece. And the songs themselves vary in genres as they do in scenes. Kids Just Being Kids is rock. There's also polka, Pull Back the Fairies by Jorgen von Strangle. A love ballad for Cosmo and Wanda called Floating With You. We also have a Latin samba piece called Adults Ruin Everything. An empowering piece from Timmy called 10 and in Charge. Those are just a few of the 11 songs in here. Oh yeah! Not to leave out the Pitsy rap! And while they could have gotten Ben Stein, who voiced both Pitsies here, to cut a few bars, it would have been hilarious, but a little bit cringeworthy. Nah, the producers got two of the finest, most experienced rappers in the game to do it. Method Man and Redman. Although I'm not a rap guy, top notch. You won't find one song in here, which also includes some mash-up of Kids Just Being Kids, Adults Ruin Everything, and Pitsy Rap, towards the climax of the film, that Guy Moon, composer, and co-writers for the special, and co-lyricists Butch Hartman and Steve Marble flubbed up, because they're all knockouts. My goodness. This really is just one of the finest Fairly OddParents specials out there. And you can watch for free on YouTube. Again, the link is below, but with the DVD, you get so much more. I proclaimed in my review of the Busted Out magazine that I wanted to buy this DVD, and Value Village gets an A+ for granting my wrists in spades. 5 out of 5 claps. The moral of this story is, let kids just be kids, and let them flip their lids, regardless of if they have fairy godparents or not. I wouldn't expect anything less once they find this. The Fairly OddParents Schools Out the Musical DVD. I hope you find it quick, because, as Mr. Quacker would say, it's not my problem until September 3rd. Here's Friday's final class. School life is meant to be shared with a few magical friends. So don't hog up the time. You don't want your reputation and your social life to be full of warts, do you? Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.